Hi everyone, and welcome to Glacier Trading Company. I've been a professional buyer for most of my adult life. I'm Craig. Join me from my remote northern location as I buy and sell antiques, collectibles, and vintage from interesting locations and from interesting people, and resell those items online. I buy from auctions, estate liquidations, stores, and from folks that just look me up and simply ask if I want to buy their items. Hang out with me for a bit and see what I got this week, and meet some of the local wildlife that live in my backyard. Let's get to it. Hey there, boys and girls. Thanks for stopping back. One of the last videos when I went to Treasure Marts and got all these old dispensers, I talked and I've been getting some messages from people that want to see how I pack them. So this is going to be just kind of an FYI thing. It's nothing I'm telling you to do. This is just going to be how I do it. I think what I'll do is I'm going to make the whole listing. I'm going to just do the whole thing bumper to bumper. And you can see if something in there maybe works for you. If not, just keep what you're doing. I think I'll start probably with this one because it's its own animal. All the rest of these are the same brand. I'm going to turn the camera off and find a place for these because I know how this ends. I knock one over and break it. So, okay, you're probably not going to see my face because I need to zoom up on that a little bit, and I need my eyeballs to make things simpler. And this works for me. I know people can do it on their phone. Even though I have a plus size iPhone, I just don't like working from my phone. So I've got this gigantic iPad. It's the Pro Max iPad, and I got a real super heavy duty case for it that I can prop up. It's magnetic. It'll stick to the wall if I want it to stick to the wall. And the first thing is just to take pictures of whatever it is that you want. I built this little shoot table. It's got lighting. It's got a little bit of a background, and I'll show you the pictures as I'm done. I'll try not to be in your guys' way, but just kind of center it up. I don't really like to use a flash because it makes such bright spots, reflective bright spots, that sometimes people can't see the detail behind. These cameras are really quite good. So if the room is even reasonably well lit, you'll be okay. So I like to get all the sides. Without too many shadows. And I really want to take close-ups of imperfections. And I'll detail those imperfections in the item description. And remember, there's a difference between the title and item description. Title is what you see when you land on it. Antique soda fountain pump dispenser. That's a title. A description is, well, we've got this old-timey and it's got patina all over here and the pump doesn't go up and down and it's got a small crack here. That's the description, along with your terms and how your shipping works, when you ship, is it sold with a warranty, is it sold as is, blah blah blah. And you get free photos. Let me say it again. You get 12 photos in your listing for free. The reason I'm going down is, see, I'm getting a shadow across there. So I just want to get the shadow out of the way. All right. Careful. That crack wraps around, so I'm going to reshoot that crack. And then it does go on the inside, so I'll make sure that I can show that the crack goes all the way through. You don't ever want to surprise people. Just be honest with them. You're not going to get one over on them. And in the long run, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. And then I want to, with the maker's marks and stuff on the bottom, you always want to get that in there. Especially this, it's a Hall, it's a name brand, so. And I'll probably, this is the cool detail about this one, is the glass jewel that it has in there. And you can take that apart. I don't know if you saw my other video on these, but see, it comes out and you can make a little label, you know, chocolate, orange, or whatever, and put it underneath that little jewel there. And then you can see at a glance what flavoring that you have in that pump dispenser. Okay. And then, last but not least, and you can use whatever color of these you like. I just want something contrasting. Stick this against the wall and stick this against the wall. That's how tall it is. And I want to make sure that those numbers are easily seen. Same thing with width. And it probably would make sense to do it at the widest point. You can see how quick you can eat up 12 pictures doing this, you know. Any other chunks out of it other than that crack? Glaze looks pretty good everywhere else. All right, so I'll find some stuff and get the boxing it up. Okay, just a couple things that I do. I don't buy a lot of new packing materials. I want to keep stuff out of landfills. It's all going to end up there anyway, but if it gets a couple extra uses before it goes there, I think it's a win for everybody, really. So I keep my eye open for boxes. There's a couple places I go and get them. There's some stores in town that, you know, they get stuff. They're not food stores. You got to be careful of food stuff. Anything that's had any biological anything in it, I don't want anything to do with it, because who knows what's brewing in there. But yeah, there's some stores in town that they just get their inventory in, and it's nice clean inventory that just comes out of the box, goes in a shelf, and then this stuff gets thrown in a dumpster, and it just doesn't make sense. And if you're into antiques and collectibles, this sort of thing, your inventories, you never know what you're selling from day to day. It's not like you can buy a one-size-fits-all box. It's just not going to work out good for you. Always tons of bubble wrap. There's always places to get it without. I mean, you know how expensive this stuff is to buy it. It's ridiculous. And I had a recycling company that would get these giant rolls. They're 3 feet in diameter by 4 feet tall. And it was, I think they sold them to me for $25, and they were making a killing on it because their whole livelihood, their whole business is by the pound. Well, bubble wrap by design doesn't weigh anything. So a great big roll of that for them to get $25 for was, you know, that was a home run. For me to pay $25 for a giant roll like that, I might only go through 2 of those a year. I can only get 3 of them on my pickup. It looks like Jed Clampett's truck, you know, with straps and everything going across the back of it. So, change your glasses, so to speak, and as far as where you look to find stuff. You can find a lot of this stuff that businesses, they're just going to throw away. Here's another one. I get tons of these. Styrofoam board. These are awesome. There's 2 appliance dealers in our town. Well, one of them was Sears, and they just throw huge sheets, not like this. I mean, they throw like 4x8 sheets of this stuff in the dumpster all the time. Refrigerators, washers, dryers are all padded up with this stuff. And this is maybe one of the single best packing materials that you can get. And if you can get it for free, great. And if you can keep it out of a landfill and get another use or 2 out of it, better yet. So I love using this stuff. Today, when we put this up for sale, I'm not gonna go through all the different platforms. I'm just gonna go through eBay right now, because the eBay app is really great, and it'll make a lot of sense in a few minutes when I show you how I use these pictures in it. So anyway, let's go. Oh, one more thing that I like. I don't know if you can see this here. Let me move the camera. If you can see that roll underneath the desk, I get this cling wrap. Again, there was some kind of business auction in town, and boy, they just had scads of this stuff. I mean, I paid up for it, but it's great big rolls like that last a long time. You can find this online. I buy great big quantities of it. Comes shipped in great big boxes, kind of loaded up like that. And they're everywhere around here. Razor. So I had a change of plans. That other box is just not going to be quite good enough. So I've got these. We're gonna do what we call a shoebox. When I want to close the box up, I'll use the tape roll and I'll roll it toward the box so get that nice and tight. And I don't go light on tape. Same thing here, I'll try to square the box up. Finish it over here. The top of this box is not going to be. It's not going to be this. It's going to be another one identical to it, and it's going to do what we call a shoebox. So when this is up, we got another box just like it, and when it's finished off, going to slide right over the top, and then they get taped together, and that's how that's going to end up. Because these stuff like this, the space gets eaten up pretty quick when you're trying to keep something from being broken. Notice on the bubble, one side's kind of flat, the other side's got the raised bubble partitions in there. You want that toward your item. If you're bad at wrapping Christmas presents, you're never going to be able to do this. Bad joke. Just forget I said that. This is the part where you wish that we'd been born with 2 more hands. Yeah, that's the thing about it. I love those little white floaty things. They're awesome. Or I think you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So next we're going to take a piece of bubble and put this in it. And this will sit alongside it. Something like that. You know, I know in the other video we talked about maybe selling two in this. You can see kind of how this starts to get dicey when you're putting two of them in a box. And then you've got the two spray units, and everything's fighting for its place in the box. And I don't know what this is going to do to my picture, having all this bright white styrofoam in the viewfinder. We'll see. Make my white balance go crazy. All right. Ah! In my shirt. Double up on that sheet of that. Screwed that one up. It always happens when the camera's on. Otherwise that would never happen. This part's gonna be kind of hard because I always notice when you do this that one side's the seam where they took the two pieces and overlapped it. Don't put those on top of one another because there's gonna be no give. So I just like to find a corner that it doesn't have. That one wins. Then we go like that. And this is a game of manipulation since the boxes are the same size. Tape in bulk, it might only be like $1.50 a roll. So if I spend $1.50 on a whole box, I don't care if the whole box has got winds and winds of tape on it. If this breaks, it's on the seller, not the buyer. The buyer just gets to go out and have their day. It's the seller's responsibility. That's another reason I'll only ship this FedEx, because FedEx is not a government agency, their employees have to perform. Each employee shows an abnormal amount of breakage. Guess whose boss is going to be unhappy? If you're a government employee, it's like, whatever, dude. All right. The reason I do this is you can imagine how much stress are on these seams. So I'll break that up into thirds usually, just to kind of help take some of that stress off of those seams. This is like why a lot of sellers only sell new stuff, because it comes from the factory in a cute little box and you don't have to fool around with this. This is kind of a nightmare, as you can see. But you'll come across your own little system that works. But I can almost promise that unless somebody gets nuts with this, it's going to arrive at its destination in one piece. All right, I'm going to clean up my mess here and we'll continue. Okay, I have a numbering system that I use on all my shelves. As you can see, there's a numbering system on all the shelves. So that'll go on the box just so we can locate it quickly, either in this small room or in the main building. So that'll be noted on here. We're going to put that in N6, and that helps me find it. I'll put that at the end of my description, or I'm sorry, at the end of my title. So when I do my printout of my shipping label, that'll be at the end of the item title, and I can quickly at a glance see where it is. I also want to match up the weights and dimensions of the box. So again, our handy dandy yardstick. This one's 14, 11, 11. I do all this in advance, so when somebody lands on my listing, there's no guessing at the dimensions, at the weight, or what the shipping's going to cost. I know so many operators that they put stuff up for sale, just leave it on the shelf, and then the day that it's sold, then they're scrambling to try to box it and get it out in a timely fashion. And they may be overcharging for shipping, or they may be undercharging for shipping and shooting themselves in their own foot. No matter what you think, when you read a listing and it says free shipping, there's no such thing as free shipping. Somebody has to pay for it somewhere, and it's always going to be the customer. It's always going to be the customer. They might have, like, I'm going to sell this for $44.95. The other guy might be at $59.99. Free shipping. It's not free. Anyway, we'll get the weight right here. I'll throw it on there a couple different ways. I want to calibrate that. Looks like 9.7. Let me make that 9.8. And then right on the box, I'll write Hall Soda Fountain Dispenser. And then on the side, I'll write Hall also. because this is what you're going to see when you walk up to the shelf. So it makes sense to just try to make this as streamlined and go as quickly as possible. If there is such a thing. All right, now that we got all that, I'm going to find a listing. Vintage Hall porcelain syrup dispenser, sold $65. Sell one like this. Some of your work is going to be done for you. I need to see if you guys can see that well. Can you see that? Maybe I can zoom in on that a little. Make this.
Look at that. Why is it crooked?
Oh, because it's sideways a little bit.
That's better, I think. Okay.
And typically I have my little wireless keyboard and I'm sitting down, so I could do this better. But and this is why I wanted to show you what this like, because all inclusive on the iPad is the eBay app. The eBay app for your Android or your iPhone or your iPad is really a decent app. It works pretty quickly. I really like it. And we can choose from the photos we just took, and we can take 12. And we got 18, so we're going to have to trim some fat here. Now I want that one at the crack, and I shot one inside. I think it's this one. I definitely want the ones with my measurements on there. And do I have any duplicates? That's kind of a duplicate, because I would need to get the bottom and I need to get this. I think I'm gonna. I'd really like that one. Let's do this. Upload. I don't even have this on Wi-Fi right now. It's just using my data, and I've got unlimited on this, so as long as I have a decent cell signal. So in here I've got full bars. And I'll take the ones with measurements and I'll move them down to the end, because it's just easier for me to describe where they are. I said dimensions can be seen last 3 photos, something like that. Scroll the last 3 photos to see dimensions. Done. Boom. So Vintage Hall porcelain syrup dispenser, black soda fountain, stainless. All right, take the stainless part out of there. I don't like that. So I've got 64 out of 80 characters used. Well, right away I know that this thing's going to be on N6, so I want to make sure that I get that on there so I don't forget. You know what? I'm going to put parts repair. Let me capitalize repair. Because I don't know if it works. I have no idea. Then they want item specifics, which drives me crazy. It's an original, it's not black, clear that. White. Brand, it's not Fountain, it's Hall. Syrup dispenser, date of creation vintage. That's not going to work. Those are made in the States. Soda dispenser. All right, so for this part, I gotta, hang on a second. I have a lot of this stuff canned. Let me see if I can. So under description, I just do a cut and paste. So I'll take the location of it out of the sentence, because nobody cares about that but me, rightfully so. And I'll tidy that up a little. And because of how this translates into eBay's text portion, the spacing all kind of turns out all right. I've kind of experimented back and forth, and this kind of works. So up for grabs is this and I just have a sentence already made, and it'll be haul ice cream or soda fountain syrup pump dispenser. Oops. Item shows heavy patina on the pump. Pump is stuck. And needs cleaning. Item has a crack. As shown in the photos. Please scroll L photos. Dimensions are seen in the photos. That's already in there. So up for grabs is vintage haul ice cream or soda fountain syrup pump dispenser. Item shows heavy patina on the pump. Pump is stuck and needs to be cleaned. Item has crack as shown in the photos. Please scroll all photos. Dimensions are seen in the photos. Okay. Pricing. It's going to ask you if it's going to be an auction. Just click off of that, and you can have a buy it now price. And it says trending price is $72. Ours is going to be $44.95 because ours needs some work. I see all these pretty much need some work, but maybe ours needs more. I don't know. It's good till canceled. I'm not interested in offers. Okay. Here's the shipping part. Package dimensions, and we did all this up here. So we know our unit weighs 9.8 pounds. Package dimensions are 14, 11, 11. Done. Now I'm going to change our shipping service from priority. We want FedEx. Where are you? There it is. FedEx ground or home delivery. 1 to 5 days. And it will calculate as soon as your customer just goes to even look at this. As soon as they land on it, they have an exact amount of what the shipping is going to cost to get it to where it's got to go. I'm not interested in international shipping, but I will do local pickup. If somebody wants to come and see it, we're going to let them. All right. Require immediate payment? Oh, I think so. And we list it. We are done. As usual, thanks guys for stopping in. Hope you got something out of this. If you did, great. If you didn't, oh well, maybe next time. Before I forget, I got a call from a woman named Liz. She's got stuff in her house. I met her when I went remember that video from Treasure Marts? I met her in there. She's got a couple of shelves with stuff, not tons of stuff it sounds like, but she'd like really love to get rid of it. So she asked me if I would come by and make her an offer. So it might happen tomorrow, the way things are sounding. I only get 2 or 3 of these kind of offers a month, so when one comes up, I like to take it. I asked her if I could video, and she said, not me, but she's fine with me videoing the shelves, and she'll stand off camera just to the side of me and do any kind of describing if she can, if that she thinks is helpful. And she doesn't want the inside of her house shown just for security stuff. She's a little weirded out about the inside of her house, being on YouTube. So look for that coming up, because it's going to happen, whether it's tomorrow or a couple days from now. I'll try to get that video up as soon. I'm sure there'll be a couple of pieces in there that are cool. So that's it. As always, guys, thanks for swinging in, and we'll see you in the next video.